So our story starts back when we got married in 2010, and we knew that we wanted to have a family, and we had talked about how many kids and all that, like all couples do, and we started trying to have a baby in 2011, and that was our first miscarriage that we had.
Yep. I grew up in what would be considered a kinship foster home, basically. My grandparents raised me, so that's the terminology used for that. But I've always wanted to have a loving home, make a loving home for kids who, may not be able to be with their parents for whatever reason it may be. But that's just always been something in my heart, and I knew that was in God's plan for us.
And so we had our first son in 2014, and then got pregnant again and had our second son in 2015, 15 months later. And we were so thankful that God allowed us to have 2 children of our own, and we would love to have had a bigger family that way, but pregnancy was really hard on Heather. February of 21, and actually Pastor Tim was speaking that message, and Heather was up here, and we were sitting together, and we were just listening to the sermon, and God definitely hit us full force both at the same time, and made it very abundantly clear that it was time to get back into pursuing fostering and opening our home up to children. And it took probably until April until we both sat down and talked about it, and Heather actually was the one that wanted to have a conversation, and I just looked at her and I said, we need to get ready to foster, don't we? And she said, yeah.
We were fully approved on July 5th of 2022 and got a phone call about a child 5 minutes later to come to our home. And it was, I don't know the word even, overwhelming, exciting, stressful, and our older 2 boys were just so excited. They were on board from day one. Our home finder calls and she says, I have 2 babies. Would you be willing to take them into your home? And I said, let me call Jeremy. I don't know if I called you or texted you, but I was like, we're taking these babies.
When they brought them, they said these kids will probably be up for adoption. If you all are interested in that, it kind of took us aback, and it was like, okay. And so we really just started praying then. We're praying, God, just do in your will what's best for these kids. If that is to be with us and we'll be their forever family, we will more than happily and do that and love on them.
It's 100% worth it, but it is a lot of work. And as far as if you didn't want to be a foster parent, what could you do? When we had the first one, when any child was placed in our home, the church brought us food, clothes, diapers, just whatever the family needs. Just being in part of that wraparound ministry that we have here at Highlands, that is amazing, amazing help for foster families.
Yeah, that's one of the great things that we felt here at church, was that anytime we brought a child, they were loved on. They were instantly, they were loved on like our other kids because they were a part of our family. And that is something that I'll always remember the people here doing, is that they loved on us, they loved on our kids as we welcome kids into our home.